I would briefly like to talk about design and what is involved in design with regards to literacy in the materials technology wood classroom. So design. The design process involves coming up with ideas or solutions to a possible design brief in order to create an artifact. So a brief. What a brief is a small statement or descriptor of what an artifact or project should be, what its requirements should be, and the purpose it should fulfill. From here, this is what our designs are based around in order to fulfill a brief. When we are designing our artifact, we need to think about three main things initially: the shape and form, the ergonomics, and the aesthetics. So we'll start with aesthetics. What aesthetics is the overall appearance of something, so how it looks. When we design something, we want it to look well and we want it to be visually pleasing to people. So we take great pride and great consideration on the aesthetics we use, how well our artifact is going to look in the end. Shape and form is greatly related to aesthetics. So it's how it is going to look. Also, what shape it's going to take. Is it going to be based on rectangles and squares with straight lines and edges? Or is the project going to be based on curves and flowing edges? Depending on what shape and form we would like to take on our project is going to greatly impact the aesthetics. Are there going to be loads of angles? Is it going to be square like a box? Finally, the ergonomics. So the ergonomics is how well it works, how well it serves a function. Take for example, this phone holder versus this phone holder. Both will do the same thing, however one will do it better than the other. Think about it for a second. Which one is going to work better? If I use my phone as an example, first I can use this one. The only thing is, it's slightly wobbly, but it still does a fine job. Secondly, I'll take a look at this one. My phone fits safely in here, and I don't have to worry about it falling out. There's also a small hole drilled in the bottom of the holder to allow my phone to charge while it's in there. Take a close look at both objects, both artifacts, and decide which one you would prefer. Which one is going to work better, which one is going to have a better function, and also, considering the shape and form, which has the more appealing aesthetics. When we've designed our artifact and we know how we're going to make it, we produce what's called a working drawing. So this is a detailed description of our piece. You can see here it shows our artifact from various angles. Our elevation, our end view, and our plan view. On the drawing, we will indicate all the key dimensions that we're going to use for creating our artifact. It will highlight on each piece where every joint is to be located, the overall dimensions, and where there's going to be any decorative features, such as the chamfers you can see here. Our working drawing is generally a single sheet. It can be done like this one, where we have our finished product and all the dimensions come from this, or sometimes it has each individual component on its own. You should get very familiar with reading a working drawing and even producing a working drawing. It is important that we understand a working drawing must be clearly laid out and should indicate all dimensions needed in order to create an artifact from start to finish. Take a look at this working drawing, or take a look at some working drawings you may have already yourselves, and see if you can highlight why and how a working drawing is produced. When we talk about design and we go through the design process, one of the last things we produce and we will discuss is a cutting list. So, a cutting list, as you can see here, is simply a table. On this table, we have a number of things displayed. This table, or this sheet, is what you, the pupils, will give to your teacher, your finished product when you're ready to start processing timber or other materials. What this tells your teacher is exactly the overall measurements and dimensions of all your pieces. Everything from your base down as far as the screws you're going to use. This is a table that contains every piece of your project. It's the amount of them you need, its overall length, width, thickness, and the type of material you will need. Let's take, for example, the first one here, the back piece. So what you will need for your back piece, this list will tell me I need one back piece that is 400 millimeters long, 150 millimeters wide, 12 millimeters thick, and is made from beech. The same with my rails. I will need two rails that are 150 millimeters long, 20 millimeters wide, 12 mil thick, and are made from teak. By creating a table like this, it is very easy for your teacher or for anyone to gather all the materials exactly the size you need them, all in one spot at one quick glance.